Hey world, say world, it's your girl Shannon. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how CDL changed my life. So, just a little bit of hindsight on why I decided to get my CDL. For when I was struggling in the real world, in real life, I was struggling. I had this little job where I was bringing home about $800 every 2 weeks. That's $400 a week. And if you know, like I know, or if you live in Georgia, that's nothing. If I would have stayed down that route, let me tell you, my stuff would have been on the curb and I would have been on the curb with it. $400 a week, that's not going to pay anything. I was literally on the verge of getting a roommate. I said, you know what could I do to change my life in a short amount of time and uplift me in a short amount of time? CDL. And I know this from experience because I know people who have changed their life in a short amount of time obtaining their CDL. My mom, a few acquaintances, and just, you know, scrolling through social media, watching videos and seeing what people have to say. Let me tell you, it's true. It's true. So if you're anything like me, you're tired of working dead-end jobs, you're barely making ends meet, and you want to weigh up or possibly out, get your CDL. And here's why. Like I said, I was averaging about $400 a week. When I got my CDL, I made up to $1,200 a week. And if I decided to do overtime, $1,500 a week. And that was without going over the road. That was a local company I was fortunate enough to find. I don't think I can drop the company's name, so forgive me. Like, if you want me to tell you the company's name in case you want to try it, DM me on Instagram at I've been said that, because I don't want to get in trouble in this video. Anywho, you guys, I did my research when obtaining my CDL, and let me say, first and foremost, if you're a recreational user like I was, stop immediately. Stop that. Put that down. Do not do it. Fortunately, the company I was for didn't do a hair follicle. They did a urine. But anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me reel it back in. I got my CDL through a grant, a state grant. That way I was able to graduate from CDL school debt-free, and I was not contractually obligated to a company. And what I mean by that is, doing your research, you will see that when you're looking up companies to drive for, they'll say, hey, we'll send you to school. But in reality, yes, they're going to send you to school, but then they say you have to work for us for a year or so many miles, whichever comes first. And if you're not a person that likes to be tied down and obligated by contract, don't do that route. If you absolutely must because this grant isn't available in your state, I get it, I understand. Try your best to stick it through, because I know people who signed up with companies and they made it through. They made it through their year or so many thousands of miles. They were able to accomplish it. So if you're one of those strong-willed people that can accomplish what you put your mind to, go for it. Absolutely go for it. If not, do the grant route like I did. I got this grant. It took about 2 months to process. I found a school. It was an advanced school. I went to school for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because like most CDL schools, the first week is basically getting you prepped for your permit. But I already had my permit before I went to school, because you will have to obtain your CDL permit first. And I got it through a app called CDL Prep. It is the best app for you because it's almost an exact replica of the exam that you're going to be taking. So CDL Prep, I'll put the link in the comment below. Download that app, practice for your permit, practice. Get your permit. That way you're already halfway through the process, because most companies are going to want you to come with your permit already. So CDL Prep, get your permit. Once I got my permit, I went to school for 2 weeks, graduated, boom. Now I'm out looking for a job. I went on Indeed.com. I put in thousands of applications, because you will see on your journey that a lot of these companies either want so much amount of experience or however, just like most jobs. I was able to find a company straight out of school, no experience needed, and this company changed my life for a short amount of time. And I say a short amount of time because unfortunately I didn't stay with them. You know, personal complications arose in my life and I had to keep on moving. Anywho, I went with this company, and like I said, you'll be very fortunate to find a local position straight out of school. It's almost unheard of. So if you're able to land a local position straight out of school, you have to be prepared for the fact that you may not be making the best of money. Most local positions will pay you like $700, $800 a week. But mind you, I was making $800 every 2 weeks. So that short amount of transition in that month span of me switching from my full-time little job to getting my CDL, going from making $400 a week to $800 to $1,200 a week, was a big jump for me. Like I said, my CDL was a way up, not out. And I say a way up because I don't plan on retiring with my CDL. It's just a way to get me through the door, to increase my finances, get me out of this financial rut. That way I could do what I truly want to do, which is my long-term goal. So when I got the job, like I said, I was fortunate. If not, you have to go through a company. When you go through that company, if you choose not to stay with that company for whatever reason, you will owe that company money for what they paid for you to go to CDL school. Do your research. Make sure when finding a CDL company to drive for that it suits your lifestyle. Meaning, if you want to bring a passenger along, like your partner, your best friend, your child, your dog, make sure that company allows that. Ask questions. Ask questions. And be prepared. When you're talking to recruiters, just like the military, they're meant to sell you the dream. They want you to come work for them. They're going to tell you everything that's fancy dancy. Do your research. Look that company up. Read the reviews from actual employees. Make sure it suits your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because, you know, if you're going through a company and you're trying to get your finances together, the last thing you want to do is create more finances for yourself by now owing this company thousands of dollars. Getting your CDL is expensive. Okay? That's why I said the grant that I went through saved my life. If you want more details and information on the grant, write me on Instagram at I've been said that. I will help you through the process. Anyway, back on track. So getting my CDL changed my life. I graduated debt-free. I found a local company to drive for. I doubled my income. That helped tremendously, okay? I can't say it enough. Now, if you're a parent like I am, finding a local company may be better for you because you want to be home every day with your children. If you're not a parent, perfect. Go with a company. Travel the world. See what America has. And get paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not get paid for traveling? You know, there's plenty of ways that you can do it. You can potentially live in your truck. You can cut all expenses. You can give up your apartment. Now, I'm not saying do this, okay? I'm saying weigh your options and do what's best for you. You're going to be in this sleeper truck majority of the time. You're hardly ever going to see your home. That's why I said you can almost live in your truck because you take showers at the truck stops. Of course, there's ways that you can bring a crock pot. You can bring a mini stove top in there to cook your food. Like, you're basically living on the road. And if you want to cut all expenses in straight profit and put all your money in your pocket, give up all your expenses, you know, with the exception of maybe car insurance for when you come home, you have your own personal car, or when you come home, you spend a few dollars in getting a hotel room. But if you can cut all your expenses in straight profit for at least 6 months to a year, by the time you come home and you're ready to get another place, your pockets are going to be fat. You're going to be straight, okay? So it can change your life. Now, if you have children, I would suggest you speak with your support system because you're hardly going to be home. And you have to get your children prepared for your absence. You're not going to be there. They're going to be like, hey, where's such and such? you're on the road making that money. So have a talk with your children, have a talk with your support system, do your research, make sure this is something that you really can do, you really can afford to do. Okay? And like I said, if you're a recreational user like me, be ready to give that up, because these companies now are doing hair tests, they're doing urine samples and everything. So you have to be on your P's and Q's with this. Also, getting a CDL with a criminal background is not hard, depending on what your background is. I've met so many people with from so many different walks of life with like criminal charges of murder, manslaughter, all type of offenses, and they were able to change their life, turn their life around with the CDL. Because, you know, starting your own trucking company, that's a whole nother video. You know, so with, you know, maybe with a company it may be a little different with a background, but for the most part they pretty much understand. It's a good field to get into if you've made a lot of bad choices in life and now you're ready to turn around, you know what I mean? Or if you haven't made any choices in life, if you're just sitting on the couch and life is passing you by, you're going to this 9 to 5, you're not making any money, you never get to travel, you never get to enjoy your life, get your CDL. It will change your life. But don't have this false sense of reality that when you come in you're going to be making $4,000 a week. No, you're not. You're going to start at the bottom. The lowest you should be ready to make part-time is $600 a week. Now, like I said, you have jobs who are paying you $600 to $700 every 2 weeks. So when you go to making this and doubling your income, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you double your income and change your life and see the world at the same time? Wake up. Get your CDL. Listen, getting my CDL changed my life. Okay? Also, do not job hop. Do not job hop. Do not go from one job to the next, to the next, to the next. If you find a job, stay with it, build your resume, build your experience, and then go ahead and look for something else. And don't get something else until you secure the first thing in the first place. So for the most part, I recommend getting my CDL, recommend getting your CDL. It will change your life. It will help you financially. It will give you a complete 180. It will take you away from your family. It will take you away from your friends, but it's for the better. It's for you to make money, to be able to spend time with your family and friends. So if your family and friends are more important than making a living, stay home. If you can find a balance, get on that road. Get your CDL. Get your CDL. It changed my life for the best, okay? For the best. And if you want more information and details on how to get your CDL for free, write me on Instagram at I'veBeenSaid.com. I'm lying. Write me on Instagram at I'veBeenSaid, or drop a comment. Drop a comment. If you don't have an Instagram, just drop a comment. Drop a comment and I'll do my best to respond to you. Anywho, you guys, gotta get back on the road. Gotta get back to that money. Peace.